actually two ways of realizing emptiness. Emptiness being the nature of our reality, as opposed to the way reality appears to us right now. So if you look around right now, everything appears real to you, doesn't it? It doesn't appear like you would think a dream world appears. But in your dream world, as we looked at last week, everything appears real then, doesn't it? It appears real then. So right now, this world appears real, but Buddha is saying this world is like your dream world. Now, the dream world, what would you say is it's made of? The dream you had most recently that you remembered. What is creating that dream? What is the world made of? Is it concrete and earth, living organisms? What is that dream? What is the construction material?
Yeah, just your mind.
Yes, that's our scientist for you. Vera's got it just right. It's our mind. It's the nature of our mind. It's built by mind, made by mind. This is, for some reason, Missy has remembered this quote. Everything is preceded by mind, led by mind, made by mind. That's what Buddha said. And he wasn't talking about the dream only. He was talking about our waking world. Just as we know very clearly that the dream world is made by mind, this waking world is made by mind. Now, there are two ways to realize this. One way is analytically, like we've done many, many times, right? Where we try to look for the world that exists beyond just labels or beyond its function, where we find something that exists concretely, that's real, that's inherent, right? If something in your dream world was inherent, when you woke up in the morning, it'd still be there. But it isn't like that. If the way that your ex appears to you now were inherent, they would still appear to you the way they did when you were first in the flush of love and you were saying how perfect they were. They would appear.
Mahamudra.
I better mute people because I know you got comments on this one. Okay, let's see. Um, but that's not how it appears, right? That person in your mind has changed. So is that person different or has your mind changed towards them? Probably both. I mean, your mind is different, but they are, in fact, an appearance to mind, just like as if they were appearing in a dream for you. Now, there's two ways to realize emptiness. Emptiness of inherent existence, meaning if we look for something that exists inherently in a fixed way, not just a mere label, not just a name, not just a collection of parts that we decide is something or other, right? This is a microphone. And, um, you know, Missy tried to get me multicolored, whatever these things are, they're like puff things to, so that you don't. Anyway, she tried to get me multicolored puff things, orange, green. I said, no, I can't be going around. That is not a microphone to me. An orange or red. I had a red one. When I first came out, there was a red poof. I said, no, can't be a red. That's like Ronald McDonald's nose that you get for giving a donation, not for my microphone. To her, she said, wonderful, multicolored. How fun. No, nightmare. To me, it's a nightmare, actually. So, most everything that we experience, we think is real, or we wouldn't have such strong feelings towards them. Like the reason you have strong feelings and dreams, like we looked at last week, is because we think it's real. We don't think it's just made by mind. And the reason that we think and have such strong emotions and feelings towards situations and people is because we think it's real, that it's exactly as it appears to us, right? That all microphones should be red or green or purple. To me, no, a nightmare. One person's dream is another person's nightmare. Have you found that to be the case? Like Like some people, they just think, oh, I just want to have so many kids and then I can have everyone over and it'll be so fun. Have the whole family gathering at Thanksgiving. And this is my deepest dream. And it really is. This is not diminishing that dream at all for people, okay? Because that is a big dream for many. But for me, as I hear these stories, okay, it doesn't sound like a dream for me. Like, for instance, my mother-in-law, she went to the other grandma's house because even just having everyone over for Thanksgiving is a nightmare for her. Even if everything went perfectly, just having people over is so traumatizing. It's a nightmare. So she goes to the other grandma, and that grandma loves having everyone over. Everybody, no, everybody come to my house. This is wonderful. Come on over. So the first thing our nieces do when they get there is that their feet stink so bad, which they do. They have the stinkiest feet because they wear these little boots, these cute little boots, but with no socks. So they stink really bad. So they get in the bathtub and they're soaking their feet, so that they're allowed inside the house. And then the two twins that are always up to mischief. I think they're like 4 now, or maybe they're 5. They're in the bathtub swimming in the stinky feet water before Thanksgiving dinner, of course. But that's really nothing. To me, that's enough of a nightmare. But the year before, last year's Thanksgiving, they were looking all over for these twin boys. Okay, where did they go? We got to have our Thanksgiving. It's all ready. Where are these twin boys? Well, they're in the basement and they're playing in the cat litter boxes because that's a great thing to do right before Thanksgiving dinner. They're eating cat poop. Who knows what they're doing? Nightmare, okay? To me, nightmare. This big family no, like a nightmare. And not only that, they basically, leave and then the next day she doesn't know why her water is not working and the drain's not working and they had stuffed cat litter down the main drain to the house and clogged everything up and it cost over $1,000 to fix. Well, that is, you know, what I think of when I think of all that is like nightmare. But she just keeps inviting everybody over, like, this is great. How wonderful to have everyone at my house. No. The first time anybody stuffs cat litter down the drains, oh, I'm really selling American Thanksgiving. It is the oddest. I mean, I don't feel good about that. It's not the best. You just have to not think about what Thanksgiving is. I mean, honestly, the American Thanksgiving is just troubling from the beginning to the end, if you think about it. You really have to make it about family, and it's not. I don't want to sell that holiday. It's weirdo, really. Um, yeah, but to somebody else, they love Thanksgiving. To me, it's the most weirdo holiday I could ever imagine. I won't even go into why because all of you probably know, can have your own opinions. But my point is, if everyone living in the same world had the same experience of things, like everyone having a whole bunch of people come over and gather for their Thanksgiving and the families pouring in and they have lots of grandkids. If that was a dream for everyone, then there would be inherent existence and things would exist independently because it really was a dream. How wonderful. This is so wonderful having everyone over. But to me, it might seem like a nightmare, a cat litter nightmare. And I'm done with cat litter nightmares, okay? I've had just about plenty lately. And my point is that we can be living in the same world. We can be in the same room together, and yet we're all experiencing it completely differently, like it's our own dream. Because it is like the nature of a dream in that it is completely made by mind. Okay, so I've been promising you that there's two ways to realize emptiness. One of them is analytical, which is what we always do. And the other one is experiential, where you try to have an experience that helps you to understand emptiness through meditation. So I'm going to guide you in the points of this meditation, and then we're going to do it. We're going to start early, so there's plenty of time. If we have time after, we can talk about it. The meditation is on your mind. It's on the mind itself. And the concept is that if you realize that everything is the nature of mind, and then you directly experience the nature of the mind, you will see how ephemeral everything is. That everything is, in fact, emptiness, because the mind is so clearly empty of existing in any fixed way. So you're about to go into your mind and see what it is. What is this mind that makes your whole reality? We can admit our thoughts make our reality, right? Definitely what we're thinking about makes our reality. So we're going to look at our thoughts, watch them, see what they're actually like. I'm going to just share one slide. Okay, so in your text, the next verse is examine the nature of unborn awareness. Unborn awareness is consciousness itself. That's what it's referring to. And the nature of consciousness is empty. There's nothing outside of the mind. There's nothing outside of the mind. Your mind creates everything. And in reality, we're not just talking about mental consciousness. We're really talking about ear consciousness, eye consciousness, nose consciousness. For example, if you were blind, or let's not take that example. Ames will like this one. If you're deaf and you can't hear anything, and the tree falls in the woods right near you, does it exist? No, because your hearing consciousness, your ear consciousness isn't functioning to allow that to exist to you. Things only exist to the mind it appears to. Like dogs, they hear all kinds of high frequencies we can't hear. So do those exist? They do, but they will never exist to us. But they exist to the dog. And I had a deaf dog, but he could hear the highest frequencies. So Missy would make very strange noises to get him to come ever. Like, it was terrible anyway. It was the worst sounds because that was all he could hear. He couldn't hear anything else. You say, "Kitty, come." He doesn't know. He can't hear anything except that. And they're hearing all these frequencies out there that we cannot even imagine. So it's only that things exist conventionally, by convention, to the consciousness that it appears to. Now, I know that sounds very technical, but I want you to try to get an experience of this when we look at the mind itself. And these are the things that we're going to look at with the nature of the mind. Okay, so the mind, the nature is clarity. It's clear. It's so clear. There's nothing obstructive It's non-physical. So you're going to look at your mind. The mind is completely non-physical. Nothing can obstruct it. It's just clear, empty space, it feels, right? The nature is clarity. The function of the mind is awareness. Its functions to know things, to be aware of things. It is luminous, meaning it illuminates things. Like a mirror, because the mirror is clear. There's no dirt obstructing the mirror. And because it is luminous, it illuminates things in the mirror. You see the reflection in the mirror. The mind is like that. It illuminates things. We appear them. If the ear consciousness doesn't exist, then we don't appear those sounds to interpret as anything. Only when the consciousness functions can it illuminate and make things appear in it. When your mind is angry, it's only going to illuminate things that appear as unpleasant and ugly and disturbing. But if your mind is full of love, those same things, be it cat litter or stinky feet water, if your mind is so full of love, like, come on in, happy Thanksgiving, don't mind the carcass on the table, and that we're celebrating stealing the land of all these Native Americans, come on in. Sure, the mind's full of love. The mind, everything that appears to the mind is so beautiful, wonderful. Because whatever appears to a certain type of mind, if the mind is pervaded by love, everything appears beautiful. The mind is a mirror that's distorted by anger. Everything that appears in that mind is unpleasant. It's luminous. Its essential nature is purity. That is an important point for us. The essential nature of all living beings' minds is purity. You're going to see how those thoughts that create everything, with our thoughts, we create our world. But those thoughts are so temporary. They're like clouds passing through the sky of the mind. There's, they arise and then you can't keep them. You can't make them even stay. They just dissolve back into the mind. You're going to try to observe all these qualities of the mind and see if you can get some experience of what the mind is like, and that this mind is what is creating your whole world, is what your world is made of. Your world is made of this mind. You're going to look under the hood of the world, like the hood of the car. What's the engine creating all of this? It's your mind. It's your mind making everything. All right, so we're going to try this, just observing the mind. And then if we have some time after, we can just talk through your experience of it and what connections you can make to your understanding of emptiness through this experiential process. Now, this is called the Mahamudra, the Great Seal, Mahamudra. And it refers to emptiness, right? But it is a meditation to experience the emptiness of the mind and thus the emptiness of everything. So let's just see how you feel, right? We don't have to understand much. It's just a feeling type of experience. We're going to the theme park and we're going to just see what happens. All right. So if you want to get comfortable to meditate, you can put your cameras off if you like. And if you want to check that your back is nice and straight, but relaxed and comfortable. If you want to put your hands in the mudra of meditative equipoise, like Buddha did. You'd place your hands in your lap with the palms facing upward. Then rest your right hand in your left and touch your thumbs together to form a bridge. You want your fingers and hands to be relaxed and comfortable. Your eyes are closed. Breathe through your nostrils. Breathe naturally, yet deeply from your diaphragm. Rather than feeling your chest rising and falling with the breath, feel your stomach rise and fall. Come into the present moment. Forget everything else. Just be here now. Begin by simply watching your thoughts without becoming entangled in them, following the story. Just watch your thoughts as they pass through the mind. Continue watching your thoughts. Notice how they pass through the mind like clouds through the sky. And as if you're lying in the grass, watching the clouds pass. Watch your thoughts in this way, gently observing. Notice how thoughts appear and then simply disappear. Now we're going to try to observe the space between the thoughts, the bare awareness of your mind. Try to observe for even a few seconds the space between the thoughts, the bare awareness of your mind. Try to stay in that observation longer, in the space between thoughts. Rest in the bare awareness of the mind. When your mind wanders, the thoughts reappear. Without judging yourself, simply try again to find the space between the thoughts and observe the bare awareness of your mind. Buddha taught that everything is created by mind. Is this true in your experience? Is everything created by mind, made by mind? Let's look at the nature of the mind, that which makes our whole reality. Its nature is clarity, completely clear. Does your mind have any physical properties? Or is it formless?